nobody's safe, not even mermaids. Hey there, adventurers, and welcome to Ticket Before You Kick It, a podcast about helping you conquer your adventure bucket list. I'm Alexandra, your favorite traveling mermaid and adventure blogger, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about a travel story that I have recently acquired from Bermuda. Now, for those of you who didn't know, I run a travel blog as a mermaid, and I talk about adventure and bucket lists and blah, blah, blah. And naturally, I thought it would be a great idea to go on a cruise to Bermuda, because I've been cruising all my life, but I have never been to that area. And I just figure, wow, like a mermaid's paradise. And it's been on my bucket list to go into a shipwreck in the Bermuda Triangle with my mermaid tail. Just standard bucket list idea, right? So I ended up dragging my best friend, Erica, with me. She is probably going to be on this show several times because I end up taking her on the craziest adventures. It just works out that way. I don't know why, but something about us two together, wild things happen when we travel together. And so I'm actually going to switch over because after this travel story happened, we went back to our room on the cruise and we actually took out my phone as a voice memo and we did this podcast on my phone in the cruise ship room because we just had to talk about this crazy thing that happened when I was mermaiding in the Bermuda Triangle in a shipwreck. So I apologize if the audio is not as good. As I said, we were in our cruise ship room and we just had to talk about it. So please enjoy this story. I hope it brings a smile to your face, because how often do you get to hear about a mermaid and what happened to me while I was mermaiding the Bermuda Triangle? So without further ado, enjoy. Okay, so we're here to tell you the story of what just happened. This happened about 2 hours ago. I am here with my best friend and dearest, closest friend, Erica, who just sacrificed life and limb to help me get some... Oh, yes.
I turned out okay.
She said I turned out okay.
That's a bit of a spoiler. But,
spoiler alert.
Okay, first thing you have to know, hey, this is Erica. I am deeply afraid of the ocean.
Deeply.
No pun intended.
And she's best friends with a mermaid, so like, this works out really well for her.
I took swim lessons as a kid. I can swim, I can tread water, whatever, all that. I don't like swimming when there are things in the water. I don't want anything touching me. The sea lions last time was a horrible... That was like a new fear because you couldn't see them. I hate not seeing what's under me.
Yeah, so for
like,
context,
snorkeling.
I was like, oh, Erica, jump into an island of 3,000 sea lions in Peru. It'll be fine. God. I also made her first swim with a shark.
That was 10 years ago now. Which, I was still a little bit young and like, yeah, I'll do it. And it was very supervised. It was a very supervised, like, the guide was right there. There was people taking photos in the water. It was all very organized.
Yes, for sure.
You know, very pristine. Then the sea lions in Peru about 3 years ago now was my deepest, darkest fear because I couldn't see under me.
Yeah, that was really scary. And it was really murky, and there were so many sea lions around us. When we booked this,
so cold.
Yeah, when we booked this excursion, we thought that it was gonna be like one or two.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like in a little enclosure.
And then we were on the boat, and he goes, "There's the island," and I was like, "The island of what?"
And it sounded like
boo. It was like they were booing us. They were like, "Please don't come near."
Scary.
And he just literally pushed us off the boat on an island of sea lions.
We had wetsuits on, and it was the coldest thing I've ever felt. Cold. I don't know how long we were in there. Anyway, I was very conscious of the fact that sharks eat sea lions the whole entire time, and it smelled like fish and other things.
It was like dead sea lions.
It smelled like death. It smelled like death.
It was just it was an experience.
So that was the last time we went traveling together.
Why is she still friends with me at this point? I don't know.
It's been 15 years. This is our 15-year anniversary. And we're here on a beautiful cruise. I got a little bit seasick yesterday. We took some Dramamine. I'm fine now.
It was fine.
We took Dramamine before today.
Which I'm glad that we did. I'm glad that we did.
The boat was a rocking.
It was rocky. The Bermuda Triangle holds up to its reputation. It is a little rocky, and there's just a lot of reefs everywhere. Like, I can definitely see how it got its name, because if I was going to the New World and I didn't have the navigational techniques, you know, and you just like run a reef and you're like, well, okay.
It was really cool though in polarized sunglasses, like looking out as we were heading out to the triangle.
It was actually amazing.
Like like aqua blue fairy rivers. Like they were glowing.
It looked magical.
It was really cool.
With
like
just
around
your
the reefs.
sunglasses. My $20 sunglasses did not hold a candle. However, her nice sunglasses did.
You know.
It was great. It was really fun.
Yeah. So we get there. And I've snorkeled before 10 years ago. We were in like the Bahamas or something.
Yes.
And it was very tame. Like very... I don't know.
It was good. There was a shark.
Easy.
But it was...
It was a nurse shark. And
it was easy.
Bazillion people there.
And there was so many
waves.
guides. And there was no waves.
Calm. Today...
we're in the Bermuda Triangle.
Uh-huh. And I'm very aware of that fact.
She doesn't like the ocean. And I, as you may not have known, am a mermaid travel blogger. So naturally, I get in a full mermaid
what if I broke
tail.
up with you right now as friends?
I would not like that. I would not enjoy that.
What if I said I've had enough?
However, me and my jellyfish sting, spoiler alert,
no.
would understand.
So as we're heading out on the boat, we're sitting like on the top and it's rocking and stuff, but we're fine. And then I see this like, I don't know how to describe this it looks like a plastic bag kind of floating on the water, like a little sandwich bag.
I have like anxiety about asking if I can use my mermaid tail, and I'm sitting there, I'm like with my giant mermaid tail, I'm like, oh, are they gonna let me use it? And then this lady's like, what is that? And everybody rushes to the side of the boat. It's a man of war jellyfish, basically a pretty nasty,
long,
stinging
black
jellyfish. He actually said that their tentacles get up to 150 feet,
yeah,
right?
he did. And he said, oh, by the shore they're only 10 feet.
Oh, okay, but but we're not in the shore. We're in the Bermuda Triangle where a bunch of shipwrecks
they were just floating by as we pull up to these buoys and we attach to these buoys.
I immediately was like, oh crap.
Like right on the side of the boat.
Gonna lose her crap. Like,
right on the side of the boat.
I'm like, she's already nervous for this. And he just starts off playing like the Jaws theme. And then he's like, oh yeah, there's just like a man of war jellyfish right there. I was just like, this is gonna go great.
This is not the moment.
This is gonna be Sea Lions 2.0.
So, took me a little while to jump in there.
Yeah.
I had Alex go in first.
Well, me in my mermaid tail. Everybody's watching me. I'm in my mermaid tail.
They approved it. It was great.
I jump in. Yes, they approved. It was all approved. I was like, I'm certified. I'm safe. I'm a diver. It's fine. So I jump in first, and I'm just like waiting for her, and then eventually she goes in, and I just come up to her, and she's just like heaving. She's just like,
Listen, I'm kind of claustrophobic, so my goggles were all fogged. I couldn't see anything, but I knew I had to have them on so I could breathe. So yeah, and then my fins were loose, and I just felt like all discombobulated.
And she has my GoPro, and I'm like, take
I didn't want it. I was
me.
like,
and she's like, no.
Hold on to it at first, please. I have to adjust. It's gonna take me a little while. And so then the waves started coming.
Yeah, it's called the Bermuda Triangle for a reason. There was some waves.
Like I couldn't not have my mask on,
yes,
which is what was unfortunate.
And I was like, well, just like look into the water, because once you look into the water, it clears up a little bit.
And then I did and said, oh no,
I don't like that.
Because right by the ship, they were feeding the fish, so the fish were just
were they feeding them?
Yes, they were throwing out food into the water.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what the little particles are in the videos.
Oh,
anyway, they were feeding the fish, so they were swarming around me and like swimming up to my face when I looked in the water, and I could never even reach my hand in a fish tank when I was a kid to like clean it.
This is true friendship right here.
I couldn't do it. So I was really panicky.
So she was panicking, and again, I am in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle with a full-on mermaid tail, and if you can't visualize this is not like a children's mermaid tail. This is like a professional,
I don't know how you did it,
mermaid tail, and it's big. And I all of a
just
sudden
kind of bobbing and
she's just bobbing and just breathing really heavy,
trying to regulate, because I know that when I'm anxious or whatever, or panicking, like I have to just regulate and I have to get through it. I don't have to get out. I just have to get through it and adjust, because it was also very cold. It was pretty cold.
It was cold.
And the waves were coming, and I needed to just sit in there a little while.
Right.
And swim a little bit away from the boat, but then I looked in the water and saw a jellyfish, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, so again, more jellyfish are coming up, and he did say that there were some brown jellyfish. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah.
They were cute.
It was not the Man of War, but they were just like little tiny ones.
I jumped in the water, kind of swam to you, and then we heard shouting by the boat.
It was hard. I feel like ever since that woman was like, oh, there's a Man of War. Because like every time someone says Man of War, they're like, oh my god, it was death freaky. And destruction. And so everybody was just so paranoid. I just see people all around me are just like, jellyfish!
Right.
And so that's like freaking her out.
There was like 30 of us at one point. Maybe?
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
And they were all kind of panicky at one point.
They were okay. Really panicky. Like, they were, like, screaming at one point, and I was like, this is not good
I'm here.
for everybody. So, eventually, I was like, because I'm also a yoga instructor, so I was like, breathe through your nose, exhale through your mouth, like, it's gonna be okay. And she was just, of course, like...
like, I know what to do, I just have to do it.
And eventually, I was just like, Erica! What are you afraid of?
And she caught this on video, and I'm so glad. And I felt really bad in the moment because I literally said, I don't know. I don't think you could hear my response, but I was kind of snippy. And we were like, what are you afraid of? And I said, I don't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it. And I was like, what are you afraid of? And we caught it on video, me saying, Erica, what are you afraid of?
That's what not to say to someone having a panic
Yes,
attack.
that is
BTW.
not the right way to go for it, especially when you are actively in rolling waters
in the open
with
sea.
Jellyfish all around you in the open sea in the Bermuda Triangle. Looking back, that was not the best way to go, but
I didn't care though, because I was conscious and aware enough of, like, I've had panic attacks before. I'm not that anxious, guys, but this was really scary.
It was scary. I'm sorry, it was. Like,
so I knew I would be fine. I knew I had to just wait it out and just kind of bob around and, like, tighten my little flippers and, like, clean out my goggles. And once I did that, Erica, what are you afraid of? I could see in the water, and I looked down, it was a shipwreck, and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It was really cool. It really was really cool to see.
Surreal.
And there was also, like, 3 shipwrecks within our entire snorkel site. Like, it was weird. Really cool.
They're all really close.
Yeah, they were all really close, and I'm like, oh, I get why this is called the Bermuda Triangle. Like, there's just
we're kind of in a triangle shape.
Yeah. Well, not even that. It was just a lot of shipwrecks. Like, they were just everywhere. So that was really cool, and it was really cool to, like, see it. I don't think she liked the fish, but I think you really liked the shipwrecks.
The shipwrecks were amazing. I think because they were kind of shallow too.
They were
very tall. Like,
I'd say probably like
something
40 or 50 feet. But I think the shipwreck that was most towards the surface, like you could touch it with just like holding your breath a little bit and just going down.
It was amazing.
It was really,
so
really
I sucked it
cool.
up. Moral of the story, just keep going.
But like instantly, like you were just like, I'm fine now.
I knew that I had to get the video for you because I love you so much, and I was like, I have a job.
She was like, I need to get this video, this mermaid video.
Yes, I was like, I can absolutely do this and stick my head under the water and get the GoPro going.
And spoiler alert, this video is amazing.
There are several. There's like
they're
3.
Amazing. Like I decided to wear my black tail, which just popped. It was like siren vibes. Like it was beautiful.
It was so good.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So anyway, moral of the story, I said the wrong thing and I said, Erica, what are you so afraid of? And then I ended up swimming out a little bit and I got stung by the man of war.
Oh boy.
And I
didn't know. She kept it from me.
Immediately. I knew it immediately because it was just like little tiny fishing lines. Like I knew it immediately as soon as I did it. And it was like my entire arm was on fire. Like it was just like little tiny pins and needles and just like all up my arm and just almost around my body. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I've heard horror stories from this specific jellyfish and I thought that it would be a lot worse than it was. However, it was pretty terrible. And she's like, can you get some videos of me? And I was like crying. I was like,
I didn't see it.
I will. Well, I also didn't want to tell you.
I'm so glad you didn't.
Because I was like, I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to tell her until we're on the boat and we're safe and it's fine. And we literally got in there and then and someone else had been stung by one of the little brown jellyfish and he was like, oh, I'll get you some apple cider vinegar. And I was like, how about for this? And he was like, oh God. Yeah. Like it was like bubbling up on
really
my
gross
entire...
I'm looking at it now.
Entire hand.
It's better now.
Yeah. It's way better now. Honestly, it's really good now.
Red. But you can see the streak.
It definitely still stings.
It's not on your arm a little bit, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was not as bad as it was before. But it was just like instant karma. Like I was like, what are you afraid of? And I get stung by a man of war. So serves me right. That's what you're afraid of.
No, it was a great day. A+ day. We got on the ship and they were handing out rum and we were having a good time. Listening to music.
We actually got one of those, what is it, rum swizzle? I've heard rum sizzler. I've heard rum swizzle. I've heard
4 different things.
I've heard rum swizzler. I've heard,
I think it's swizzle.
Swizzle?
I don't know. But
anyway,
that sounds right.
It was really good. They were like actively pouring vinegar on my hand while I was drinking rum. Like it was just something else. It really was. And I'm like holding my mermaid tail. Like I'm like, this is something else. This is
Oh gosh. A+ day though.
A+ day. Honestly, A+ day.
I'm selfishly glad I did not get stung because I don't think I would have gotten in the ocean again.
Me, I remember when I did it and I turned around to you and was like, I swear to God, if she gets stung, I like instantly, I didn't even, I was in so much pain, but I didn't think about me. Thank God it happened to me, and thank God it did not happen to you.
I'm really glad too.
Yes. Anyway, A+ day, really, it was great.
The shipwrecks were insane. If you get the chance to go, absolutely.
They were amazing. One sunk in the 1860s, and then the other one was
1940s.
In the 40s.
I used to think I'd want to be on a pirate ship when I was younger, and now I'm like, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
There's a lot of jellyfish.
It's just the jellyfish, man. Erica, what are you afraid of? The jellyfish! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you didn't get stung. I'm really, really, really glad that you didn't get stung.
Me too, man.
That's what I mean. That's our story.
Thanks for listening.
And I'm literally looking at my Man of War scars right now, so there you go.
I'll help her heal.
Great. Perfect. Best friend. There you go. So that wraps it up for this episode of Ticket Before You Kick It and my jellyfish Man of War story in Bermuda. Just an update. The rash did end up going away after, we recorded this. It did hurt pretty badly for about a day or so. And then I just had this itchy rash on my hand again. It kind of looked like I had gotten whipped on my hand, and as of right now, it's still there. So, Man of War, they don't mess around. Good to know. Nobody's safe, not even mermaids. But in all reality, I have been in the ocean so many times, and this is the only time where I've ever had something happen to me like this, so please don't let this deter you from any of your adventures. I just thought it was a hilarious story of my instant karma, really. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this travel story. If you did like this travel story, please do not forget to subscribe, send to all your travel buddies, and check out more of my content on thebucketlistmermaid.com. Until next time, keep adventuring and stay away from those jellyfish. They might look cool, but they hurt. Also, if you do want to see any of this footage, any of my Bermuda photos, please stay tuned on my social media at The Bucket List Mermaid. I will be slowly and surely trickling all of this content out. And eventually, I'm gonna create an epic Bermuda bucket list, as I do. So stay tuned. And as always, keep adventuring and keep bucket listing.